Hello friends, you are very welcome. I am super excited to have you here with me today. So before I say anything else, I just need you to take a deep breath slowly. Because if you're here right now, it simply means that something in your marriage no longer feels right. Not necessarily loud problems, not scandals, not even the kind of violent abuse everyone can clearly see. Just emotional disconnection, the kind that slowly turns a marriage cold. You are together, yet it feels like you are worlds apart. You talk, but you are not really being heard. You share a bed, but you still feel alone. The kind people call married but single, married but lonely. For some women, intimacy has since stopped completely, and for others, it may still be there, but it feels more like a duty now, something you just have to endure. You don't even look forward to it anymore because emotionally you are no longer connected. And intimacy for most of us women starts with the emotional connection. It is not just a physical thing. And the painful part is this: you don't even know how it all came to this. You don't know how things got to this stage. Maybe you are tired of pretending everything is fine, or maybe you are tired of being the strong one all the time, tired of crying quietly in the bathroom so that the children will not hear you. Or maybe you even keep asking yourself the same question over and over again. How did we get here? God, this is not the kind of marriage I prayed for. I am so confused. God, please change something for me. If that sounds like you, please stay with me till the end of this session, because this is not just a class, I promise you. This is a conversation your heart has been begging for. Before I go further, let me just ask you something, and please be honest, even if it is just with yourself. I cannot see you. Are you tired of how things are in your marriage right now? You are exhausted, not physically, but emotionally tired. You are tired of repeating the same argument. You are tired of explaining yourself to someone who no longer listens to you. You are tired of feeling unwanted, unseen, and unappreciated in your own marriage. Anytime you even talk to him, he will still go ahead and do whatever he feels like doing, as if you did not even speak to him. You talk to him, but he does not really hear you. You are tired of walking on eggshells in your own home, because even simple conversations can now turn into conflict if you are not careful. Maybe you loved your spouse before. You loved him so much, but now something feels broken. You are no longer even sure if you still love him. You are just feeling stuck. And yet, for some reasons, maybe because of the children, family expectations, fear of starting over again, or for your personal values, you want your marriage to work. But not like this. You can't continue like this because you're losing it already. I understand you, and I truly get it. My name is Hajara Sani. I am a certified counselor and a relationship coach. I am the founder of Deep Healing Counseling Solutions and the Intentional Marriage Academy. And over the years, I have worked with over 100 women and couples who were struggling in silence. Women who looked fine on the outside, but inside, they were slowly falling apart and losing themselves, and also losing hope. I've listened to countless stories. Stories of women who said, if I had known better, I would have prepared differently. Or women who said, I wish someone had told me earlier that this is what marriage can be. Some people even say, I think marriage is the greatest mistake I've made in my life. So many regretful comments and statements from women. Stories of marriages that didn't collapse overnight, but slowly drifted apart. Nobody gets married to come and end up like this. Nobody gets married with the hope to suffer later. And what I've come to understand is this. Honestly, most marriages don't fail because people are deliberately wicked. No, they fail because people are unprepared, unaware, and unsupported. Nobody taught us how to manage emotional challenges, how to manage marital crisis. We go to the universities to learn, to study hard and become expert in our various fields. But nobody taught how to manage marital crisis. So my promise to you today is this. By the end of this session, you will understand why love alone is not enough to sustain a marriage. You'll understand why good people can still hurt each other deeply, and why ignoring small cracks today often leads to serious damage tomorrow. And most importantly, you'll begin to see a clear path forward. The next step to take to avoid things from deteriorating. Not perfection. Magic cannot happen overnight, but gradual healing. So before I go further, let me share a story with you. But please don't judge her. Don't rush to compare her situation with yours. Just listen with an open heart and pick the lessons meant for you. So let me call her Habiba. That's not her real name. When I met Habiba, she was on the brink of divorcing her husband. She was angry and tired of the marriage. She had been so unhappy in her marriage for years, and it was beginning to affect her physical health. Her blood pressure was unstable. she was slipping into depression. She was already on medication for her BP and they keep increasing her dose. But she knew what was wrong with her. It was the situation about her marriage and it was not changing. So instead of continuing with the additional dose that they kept increasing, she decided to come for help. But let me continue. She also told me that a friend who had also gone through marital crisis wanted to introduce her to drugs to help her numb the emotional pain, but she declined because she doesn't want to become addicted. She has a few people around her that are already addicted because of one emotional problem or the other, and she did not want to be part of them. She said she has children, and she said her youngest was around 5. So she told me it was part of the reason she refused the offer. Habiba had a good paying job. She's beautiful, in her mid-40s, still young. Outside, people saw a perfect couple because she was still posting her husband's, birthday celebrations online. She would also post about the anniversary. But inside, she was very miserable. She had been married for almost 15 years, but for the past 3 years, she felt like a prisoner in her own marriage. The love and warmth that once filled her home had disappeared. She and her husband have become more like strangers. They barely spoke unless it was necessary. They no longer slept in the same room. Coldness, resentment, silence, every day felt heavier than the last. Many times she thought about leaving, but her children held her back. She grew up without a mother and knew how painful life with a stepmother had been for her. So because of that, she stayed. She didn't want her children to experience what she did. And then she suffered quietly. During this lonely phase, she turned to an old ex for comfort. She just wanted to get away from the emotional instability at home. So she got back with her ex. They were only talking. It was just conversation, nothing more than that. But soon, she realized she was developing feelings for him. He was everything her husband was not. It was so easy for her to fall. She started looking forward to his calls. She became anxious when she did not hear from him. She knew deep down it was wrong, but she was helpless. Here she was, a married woman, on the verge of having an emotional affair, something that went against everything she believed in. Confused and determined to fix things, she sought help. As we walked together, something shocking happened. She realized she had also been part of the problem in her marriage. And for years, she believed everything was her husband's fault. She even hated him for it. She was aggressive towards him because she harbored bitterness and blamed him for many things in her life. But now, as we walked together, she began to see her own role, the role she played in getting the marriage to this stage, her attitudes, her reactions, her resentment, But with guidance, she started working on herself first. She began communicating more respectfully to him. She stopped blaming him. She spoke honestly and openly about her feelings. She stopped assuming, She stopped misinterpreting whatever he says. She began appreciating even the small efforts which she once ignored. She started saying things about him. The same qualities that attracted her to him before, he still had them, but she could not see it because she was angry. But when we started working together, she still noticed that he still had those qualities. Slowly, her husband noticed the change from her, and he also responded. They started having meaningful, real conversations again. Trust began to rebuild. Hope returned. It was not easy for her. It was not perfect, but because she was pushed and motivated, because she didn't want her marriage to end like this, because they once had a good marriage and she wanted to revive that. That was the only thing that kept her motivated. And today, they are making real progress. Their marriage is now a work in progress, built on honesty, effort, and renewed commitment. So I need you to hear this clearly. Your situation may be different, but no matter how bad it feels right now, once the willingness to change is there and you know how to do things correctly, honestly, healing is very possible. Now, I want you to pause with me for just a moment because there are a few gentle truths in Habiba's story that I don't want you to miss. What her story shows is that sometimes change does not happen with two people. It doesn't start with two people at the same time. It starts with only one person deciding, I cannot keep doing this same thing. I cannot continue like this. One person choosing to pause, choosing to reflect, and choosing to do the work properly. It also shows that healing is not instant. It cannot happen overnight. So you need to be patient. Rebuilding trust, connection, and intimacy takes time, especially the intimacy part. You have to rebuild your connection and trust before the intimacy can, flow easily. You cannot force it. It takes patience. It takes consistency, doing the right things. And most importantly, it takes the right guidance. And here is something very important you need to know. Marriage is not about perfection. It is about growth, about learning, unlearning, and choosing better responses, about being intentional, because marriage is a verb. It's an action word. It's something we do every day. It's about becoming healthier individuals first, so that the marriage itself can become healthy. And above all, Habiba's story reminds us of this fact. It says, which is the fact that no matter how broken things feel right now, there is still hope. You know, when there is willingness, clarity, and the right support, a marriage can begin to heal again. A marriage can be revived once the willingness is there. Unfortunately, I noticed that Habiba's story is not an exceptional case. It is not the only story like this. Because over the years, I've met women who are in fact very terrible unbelievable marital conditions. Over the years, I've worked with many women who felt exactly how you may be feeling right now. One woman even told me that, in her words, I didn't even realize how much resentment I was carrying until I met you. Now, for the first time in years, my husband and I talk without fighting, without arguing. To her, she felt it was a significant progress compared to where she was coming from. Another person said, I was ready to walk away, but today my home is calmer and I feel emotionally safe again. You changed how I see my marriage. Thank you, ma. Another person recently sent me a message. Ma, since I stopped reacting and started responding, everything started changing. Thank you. So you see, this is the reality of some women who had almost given up in their marriage. I've seen women like this. And after seeing these patterns again and again, I realized something very important. That so many women are just managing in silence. They look okay, but a lot of them are not okay. I realized that not everyone can afford private coaching. Some people are even actually shy to speak out what they are going through. Not everyone can even get to meet me one-on-one. But every woman deserves access to the right tools and to support. Because many women suffer in silence. They endure. They manage. They survive. Despite or at the cost of whatever. They lose themselves. They lose their confidence. They look older than their real age. All in the name of marriage. Some have even told me that they can't even go back to their houses again because their parents are forbidding them to go back. Or they will say that, oh, my other sister is already divorced. I cannot go back to add it to them because their mothers, their mothers don't want them to come back home. And especially where it is in a polygamous home, they find it difficult because they feel to be ashamed to their mother when the other woman's children, they appear to be thriving. So for many reasons, a lot of people just keep to endure in the name of marriage. But let me tell you something most people will not tell you. You don't fix a marriage by fixing your partner. No. You fix a marriage by fixing the connection first. And connection is intentional. It is learnable. It is rebuildable. And this is exactly where the marriage fitness comes in. I made this course especially for women just like you. Marriage fitness is not about blaming. It is not about choosing sides. And it is not about pretending everything is okay. It is about strengthening the core of your marriage. Communication, emotional safety, intimacy, respect, understanding, mutual understanding. Those are the core of a strong marriage. This course will help you address all of this and restore it back into your marriage. In fact, just like your body needs fitness to stay strong, your marriage also needs training, tools, and the right support. And inside this course, you will learn practical tools and proven methods I have used with my private clients that have paid a lot of money. You will learn everything I teach them in this course. You learn how to reconnect emotionally without begging or without fighting. How to address unhealthy emotional attachment or affairs. Meaning that if your partner is having an affair or emotional affair with anybody, this course will help you. You learn how to scatter it. You learn how to communicate your needs clearly without being dismissed. You learn how to set healthy boundaries. You learn why those same arguments keep coming back again, and you learn how to stop them. Every conversation, you will no longer turn to arguments again. You learn how to rebuild trust and intimacy step by step. In fact, let me tell you something. This course is not just theory. It is lived experiences, practical guidance, something that has worked for others. Why will not work for you? Now, I know some of you are probably quietly asking yourself inside, maybe you're thinking, what if my partner is not interested? Or what if I'm the only one trying and I'm tired of trying? You don't want to look stupid. Or you may even be saying, oh, what if it's already too late for my case? I beg, I don't tire. My dear, come closer. Let me say this gently to you from experience. Healing often starts with one willing heart. One person choosing to pause instead of reacting. One person choosing growth over bitterness. You don't want to remain stuck. And you don't even have to do this alone, because marriage fitness is for women who are tired of guessing. They are tired of doing trial and error method. Who are tired of guessing and want something that actually works. Women who are tired of suffering quietly, tired of repeating the same painful cycle. If, as you've been listening to this session, your heart has been nodding quietly, if you feel seen, or if something connects to you, if something inside you keeps whispering, I cannot continue my marriage like this, please don't ignore that voice. That is the voice of reasoning, because that voice is not weakness. It is your heart yearning for clarity. Marriage Fitness was created for women who are tired of guessing and hoping things will magically fix itself. Women who are ready to stop reacting and start responding differently. Because when you keep doing the same thing, you get no result. But when you decide to do something differently, then you get a different result. Women who understand that prayer is powerful, but wisdom and action also matters. And let me be honest with you for just a moment. If nothing changes, nothing changes. If nothing is changing for you, nothing will change. That if nothing changes from your place, nothing will surely change. Because doing the same things will only give you the same result. But choosing differently, even when it feels uncomfortable, is often where healing begins. So for a limited time, instead of paying the full price, which is over 50,000 naira, Marriage Fitness course is available at over 50% discount only for the first 10 women who are ready to take this step today. This is not about pressuring you, no. It is about your priority, because your mental health matters, your emotional safety matters, your children deserve peace and stability in their life. Your marriage is too important to be left to chance, to be left on autopilot. So if your heart is responding to this, if something in you already knows, I need this, then don't delay further. In fact, picture this clearly. Imagine you and your spouse laughing again, having conversations without tension, a home that feels calm, not heavy. No constant fights, no outside interference, no dramatic in-law drama. Just two people choosing each other, facing the world and standing as a team, playing together, traveling together, and actually laughing together. Yeah, my sister, that future is very possible, but it requires action. So click the link under this video now and take the step towards the marriage your heart has been yearning for, towards the marriage that you deserve. You know, your marriage is not broken beyond repair, and it is worth fighting for. With the right clarity, structure, support, and guidance, change is possible. So accept my congratulations in advance, because I know that with this, your marriage can come alive again. So congratulations.